This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Alrighty, it's another Thursday night. That means another Docking Bay 94. Because we've been at this for almost 12 years. Or more than, no, almost 12 years.
Only?
Yeah, it feels so much longer than that, doesn't it? And yet it feels like yesterday. Thanks for tuning in. The robot's excited.
Hey, folks.
And you could be listening to us on sci-fi.radio, where I'm about to go check and make sure we're really broadcasting. You could be seeing us on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube. All of those things are perfectly acceptable. Our smiling, happy, aging faces. Like, my beard looks so white. It's like glowing. I'm like, what the what?
Cracker.
It's crazy. It's nuts. But yeah, hey, if you are their frequent Falcon flyer, is
Chris,
there, Lori, and
Vicky.
Vicky's there.
The Lady A. All right.
Lady A.
Howdy, everybody.
Lady A.
Woo. Cool. All right, I'm gonna go check on our radio.
Okay.
And make sure that it's really broadcasting. Because they've been psyching us out lately, and people are like, I can't hear you over there.
So I guess that means Jeff and I have to talk.
Well,
Yeah, what the heck?
you know, if you're...
Although it looks like Jeff's going to get disconnected.
Right, no, we're good.
Right in the middle.
We're all fine here now. Thank you.
Okay.
How are you?
Jeff, what you been doing?
Well, I mean, other than what we all did, I went to the Alzheimer's walk, the first one that I know of that for the year. I think the rest will be hitting like, gosh, a few months from now.
Jeff, what you been doing?
The world.
That was me checking the radio station. I just
Sounds
happened
like
to...
a repeat there.
Right, I just happened to catch Colleen's echo there. That's pretty
like
funny.
Deja vu or something. I saw a cat twice.
Was that at Angel Stadium?
Yeah.
I like that one. I'm sorry I missed that one.
It was like it's like the first one. The rest of them will be at parks and like at the beach, I think, most likely. But
I think I did that one last year, and I very much enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I got there and we were doing the event, and then like it was like sprinkling on and off, and then we did the start of a thing, and it started raining, not like really heavy when it was just coming down, not but like
just enough to be annoying.
Yeah, just enough to get wet. And then
did you Star Wars or did you Ghostbuster?
Star Wars was there. Ghostbusters were not there this year.
Oh,
for this
okay.
One. They're there for like the junior diabetes one, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So, hey Rosie, and Talon. So, everybody, well, actually, everybody but one person. So at one point when we clapped and whatever and cheered on the people that were going to do the walk, which is like, I don't know how long it is, like 3 miles or something. Because it goes into the stadium,
it's usually
and then goes like up the levels and back down levels and out. And
yeah, it's like a 5K, I think. So it's like about 3 miles.
Yeah, and then and so after that, everyone basically went back in and started changing out. And I'm like, it's not even like 10, like whatever. I'm like, so I walked back down, and I just went up there to get a little break and take a drink. I went back down, and I got down there just in time for the first set of people coming back.
Oh, good.
To the ending and cheering them on. So it was me, I'm the only one out there of our group.
That
and
sucks.
then like but a little bit after that, our Mando friend came out, and he was out there, and and one of the Wranglers. So at least,
good.
at least it was us out there. Everyone else pretty much bailed.
Well, and cheering the people at the end is the most fun. I mean, they made it through. They're excited. They're kind of worn out. They need a little something extra to like get them over the line. They want to come take pictures of you, not beforehand, like afterwards when they're done and they've run the race.
Yeah.
That's when they want to take pictures and stuff. We do the bra run down the street, which is a breast cancer charity, and everybody wears like bras on the outside of their clothes, which honestly sounds really uncomfortable to run in. But yeah, and it's the end of the race that's like the big deal.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a walk. So maybe that's why it was a little different. But I was down there for that, and then like after the last few people, after the last of the group, I stayed down there for the whole lot of them, and it took a little while, and finally the people finally came through. Then we went back. I went back up and changed.
Cool.
But yeah, it was still pretty good. I mean, it was like we hit two rebels. It was me and her name is Alex, I believe, and she plays she was doing Leia.
Yeah, she's new, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was at one of the events I did recently. She was nice.
Okay. And then her I'm going to say boyfriend Nathan is wants to make a Han costume. So he was asking me questions. I'm like, okay,
great.
do this. Go get this. Yeah.
Yeah. The we just got approved, by the way, to do, and of course it's on May the 4th, but the Orange May Parade, which is interesting. So now we've got one at like opposite ends of the calendar. We've got like October and we've got May now.
I have no idea. Well, I didn't know we had a parade in Orange, to be honest.
Right. That's what happened in Westchester, where we used to have this Christmas parade, and we'd have like a crappy showing for the Christmas parade. You felt like a dummy because you're like, hey, we did a parade and nobody watched us. And then they're like, oh, we have a 4th of July parade that's like really awesome. I'm like, why didn't you lead with that? Why are we doing this Christmas parade? And we did the Christmas parade for years before we even found out about the 4th of July parade.
Yeah,
really?
It was weird.
Yeah, it was really strange. You'd think somebody would have brought it up.
I guess we always were out of town for the 4th of July because we didn't know about the parade. Mm-hmm. So we didn't like stumble across the parade naturally.
Right, exactly. Well, and our friends who also live here didn't mention to us either.
Yeah,
Eric.
Exactly. Man. And thank you, Rosie, for subscribing with Prime.
Yeah, but so Darian, I think, is organizing this. And so when we did the last parade, he had the Jurassic Park people and all that kind of stuff going on. But he wants like lots and lots of cars. And so he's like, it's Star Wars. It's May the 4th. You should be there. And I'm like, yes, you're right. That's true.
I live here.
But Star has her Firefly truck and she gets to do it too. And so they didn't give us a limit. Yeah. If she's gonna drive 4 hours to do parade, she's nuts. But she should be allowed to do that. So.
Oh, doggies!
Crazy. Well, right on. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm sorry I missed this thing this weekend.
That's okay.
I don't know if it wasn't on my radar or. I mean, we did.
Well, I mean, you didn't have any time available this weekend.
Yeah, and I guess that's the real thing is that I didn't. Because
we did. We went and saw Ghostbusters on Friday night. We went in costume and met up with Dave and Sarah, and they were in costume too. So we had 3 Ghostbusters and a Janine.
Right?
Yep.
Let me see if I posted a picture of that.
And Ghostbusters was just what I wanted. So
it was exactly what I wanted.
To that.
How
really
great
good.
was that?
Yeah, it was popcorn movie extraordinaire.
It was something that it wasn't like all nostalgia, which I've seen a lot lately with movies.
It was a great mix between the old crew and the new crew.
And it
really
was
liked
it was a good passing of the baton. I thought the last one was pretty good the way they did it, but this was more solid. And I think that
Rose, don't be worried to see it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's really great. This was our crowd in front of all of those stairs leading up to the theater.
Nice.
And I got to tell you though, my biggest disappointment was in that we got there, and I was like, ready to get my ghost trap popcorn bucket, all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
they had a
yeah.
special Frozen Empire pin, which I wanted for my uniform, and
Oh, I
apparently,
didn't even know about the pin.
yeah, and they had a mini puffed sipper and like a whole bunch of stuff that they were doing, plus regular cups
Oh.
and popcorns and things like that. But people swooped in first thing in the morning when they opened, bought it all,
Yeah.
and the people who went to the movies didn't really get it, and
That's
that's
terrible.
that's a real bummer. It took me quite a while to track one down, and one theater we went to get this only had the ghost trap bucket. They didn't have
Oh.
anything else. They didn't get anything
Gotcha.
else. So we're actually going to see it again tomorrow. And so it's an AMC, I think, and I'm gonna ask them if they have the pin, because I
there you
really
go.
want to get the pin.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we'll have to see about that.
Well, and then since we're talking about Ghostbusters, do you want to put up the picture from you and Jeff going to see it?
I'm getting it right now.
Did you end up getting a pin somewhere?
Nope, never found it. And in
Yeah.
fact, somebody like Wyatt, I think, offered one. He's like, "Do you need this?" I'm like, "Oh, I'll get it at my screening."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
dumb me.
Although
So
we did,
this,
and I didn't get a picture of Sparrow, unfortunately. But
yeah, we didn't. I meant to take a picture out in front of the theater, and I don't remember what happened. We came
Yeah.
out of the theater, and something happened that, like, we just ran for lunch or something, and it
Yeah.
was whatever it was. We didn't linger there at all. But
Yeah.
so here was Jeff and I at the restaurant we went to afterwards. What was it?
Yeah. Woody's.
Woody's, yeah. So
Yeah.
was a pretty good little
Yeah.
place.
Sparrow was dressed as close as possible to being podcast.
Right.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it was cool. So it's been a good weekend, and then I've been trucking around wearing my I have a BDU shirt with Ghostbuster patches on it and stuff, and that's been a lot of fun because like the kids are getting it. They're the parents will like completely, like, I went to Disneyland, did my usual Disney day, and the parents like, but the kids are like, there's a Ghostbuster over there, which was really funny, and which
Yeah.
is kind of the whole point. And then today I went to pick up some auction stuff, and I walked by, and the guys in the auction, it took a minute to click because he's like watching me go, and he's like, click, tick, 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 and then he's like, who are you gonna call? I'm like, there you go. And I said, in most cases, me. And I got a whole bunch of Ghostbusters belt stuff for our costumes, which is great. I got
nice.
like 40 weird pieces, and I think it was a prop lot. I think it came from like some costume shop or something,
Okay.
because it's all stuff that goes on a police belt, but no actual police belts, which is okay. We don't really need them.
Did you
Yeah.
end up showing the picture of you and Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did I-
okay, I didn't see. No,
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
My screen froze up, so
Oh, I'm
I saw
sorry.
nothing.
Yeah, it's still there.
Hey to
I
Kelly.
flipped it up, and it's like,
This is
There you
Kelly
go, good.
Pond, not Kelly Bryson. There we go.
yeah. So I got this lot of like 40 police stuff, but some of it's a little weird. Like there's like a lot of handcuff stuff in there, which is strange.
Oh.
And then they have these things that are like lightsaber cover tech clips, and I've got like 8 of those that go on the belt that you're supposed to hang stuff off of. But now I need the corresponding clips,
Oh, okay.
because like the walkie-talkie cases, of which I got 2, and which fit the Ghostbusters walkie-talkies perfectly.
Oh, nice.
That like slides in and snaps into place, but I only have 2 of those, and they come with backings, and then I've got like 8 more backings, and I'm like, we could attach anything we want to these. We just need those other things. And there's like mace containers that hold PKE beaters pretty well, flashlight holders that do the same, or would probably hold a ghost trap pretty well. we'll have to experiment with it and see which of the Ghostbusters gear will hold it pretty well. And it's all black leather, which means it'll match the rest of the stuff that hangs off the Ghostbusters belt. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I had a little bit of a Venkman moment while I was there, because I walk in and this woman is getting her auction delivery. A guy walks out with a hand truck, and it is a 3-foot tall Madonna statue. It's like the Virgin Mary statue.
Oh,
and
that's the singer.
And no, sorry. And so it's all painted. It looks like it came right out of a church. And the guy wheels it out, and she's like, "Oh no!" And the guy she's with is like, "Well, what's wrong? Isn't that what you wanted?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I did it again." And he's like, "What did you do?" And she's like, "I got the scale wrong. It's so much bigger than I thought it was gonna be, because it really was like 3 feet tall. It was like a small human being." And I started laughing, and I said, "Yeah, that's way too big." And she's like, "I know, right?" And I'm like, "That's a problem." And she's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "You are never going to fit that on your dashboard." And everybody laughed. It was very funny. So it's every once in a while you feel like you had the right thing to say at the right time. It was really funny. But she was so freaked out by the size of this thing, which was kind of awesome.
When we had food at Woody's, there was a guy that wandered up and gave us little sour candy strip things because it was his birthday and he liked our effects and everything.
I don't know if it was his birthday or what, but I told Colleen this when I got home. I'm like, we got grandpa'd. he basically walked up to us, and you know, I'm 56. I don't look like a kid at all. But he walks up. He's like, "Who's got the car with the jet engines on the back?" And I'm like, "Well, that's me." And he's like, when did you make it?" I'm like, "Well, I've had the car for like 2 years now, and I've been working on it." He's like, "Well, it's your car's birthday," and he puts a candle on the table. It's a battery powered candle.
Yeah.
And he has to explain how it works. That there's a switch on the bottom to turn it on. So we turn it on, and he's like, and here, I'm gonna give you this, and he gives us like a sour strap. It's candy with like sour sugar on it in a long strap thing. And then he's like, "And I have one for you, and I have one for you, and one for," and he gives, you know, Owen gets one, and Sparrow gets one, and Jeff gets one. Yeah. And then he walks away, and it's like, it's exactly the behavior that like your grandfather would do to you. You know, the only thing he didn't do was like pull a quarter out of one of our ears. It was hysterical. And I don't think my grandparents ever did that. I don't think anyone has ever done that to me. It was really bizarre. But it's exactly the kind of behavior that, you know, people's grandpas do. So funny. Absolutely funny.
Well, alrighty then. So Sean and I on Saturday, we had a meeting, and then, well, Sean had to run and find his popcorn bucket, and then we had a meeting. And then we had to drive out to Long Beach for a memorial service.
I forgot about the meeting, because I'm like, what was I doing that I didn't go to that event?
You had a meeting.
It was because we had a meeting. Yeah. And not a meeting to worry about. We're talking about doing a radio show at
we had an intervention.
Right. You know, we're talking about doing a live radio show performance in San Pedro. Yeah. So we're plotting.
So we went to the memorial service for Tony Benown, who's a Los Angeles area science fiction fan. Mm-hmm. And it was we were there for a long time.
We were, and so it wasn't a wake,
like 4 hours.
Wake exactly, but it was at a bar. And there was a lot of drinking and a lot of food, and
the drinking was mostly Coke, and
yes, although people were going out to the bar and getting drinks. And
were they?
Yeah, and so the thing that was really interesting about this. So Tony has been involved in science fiction fandom in LA for decades, and I don't know how well you know him, Jeff, but he lived about like a block and a half from the Anaheim parade route.
Yeah.
And so he would come to the parade and like shout at us and yell and scream at our cars and all that kind of thing. And like before the parade was even over, I'd get a text from him. Did you see me? Which was awesome. He was a big supporter of like everybody's project. He was like always on your side. He was a really, really great guy. But there were two sides to this. There was like the fanish side of things, and then there was family. And so, you know, Tony's family and Sherry's family came down. Sherry is his wife. And that was weird. Also, when we parked at the Honda Center for Honda Center events, Tony was very frequently there, and he would come say hi to us, and he often worked the parking booth. And if we didn't say hi, he'd get angry, or if he's like funny angry. And if he saw our cars in the parking lot and we hadn't seen him, he's like, "You didn't tell me you were here. Why not?" You know, he was a good guy. And so we spent a lot of time like meeting a whole bunch of people we'd never met before, and seeing a bunch of people that we know extremely well, which was really kind of wacky.
Yeah. And then Sunday we were all supposed to go to Enchanted Forest Fantasy Picnic, but it got canceled due to the possibility of rain. And while it didn't rain like right at the moment of the time the picnic was supposed to happen, it rained the day before, so we would have been picnicking in the mud. And and then it rained at the end of the day again too. Yeah. So instead, that was when Sean ran down on like no notice. He was texting Jeff, and Jeff said, "Yeah, I'm going to see this movie in 45 minutes." And Sean like jumped into his Ghostbusters jumpsuit and into his car and was gone.
I did, and I beat Jeff to the theater.
Wow.
Yeah, other things I was taking care of here.
Yeah, but not Owen. It was I got there and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I actually ended up getting the seat exactly next to you guys, which was great. It was fun.
And then
you know, you mentioned, Colleen, this Enchanted Forest picnic that we were going to do. Mm-hmm. Why was I even putting a costume together? All I needed to do was wear our Enchanted Forest t-shirt from Oregon when Jeff and I went. I mean,
there you go.
That would have been sufficient.
Because what you did put together was really cool.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So, although you never found a net, did you?
You know,
or any other Mouseketeer.
Shoot, I bet I just missed. I have been really bad about my auctions lately. I don't bid on a lot of stuff, but I bid on. But
when I do, I forget about them.
I forget about them, which is a real bummer. I have missed out on some really great stuff, and one of them, there is a lot of about 6 nets that are perfect, absolutely perfect.
Only need one.
I do. I only need one.
Hey, Eric.
You're gonna be stuck with 5 nets.
But I think, there are all these things that are like they're all closing right now, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But
but the picnic didn't get completely canceled. It just got moved into April.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll be able to wear those costumes.
I did not miss the nets. Okay.
And instead, I went to an English country dance rehearsal, where I have to say that the people who are really good dancers, they each put up with me dancing with them once, and then they're done with me.
Poor Colleen.
Because I'm not good.
Poor Colleen.
So I sat the last, either the last 2 or the last 3 dances out on the sidelines.
Oh.
Because I'm not good. There weren't enough people to dance. I'm also really bad at asking people to dance because it's embarrassing to me to ask people to dance when we both know I'm not very good.
Well, but at least you try.
I do try, but I frequently, English country dance is very similar to square dancing, but less yeehaw. So
less yeehaw.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
100% less yeehaw or maybe 99% less yeehaw in English country dance. But it's a called dance and you walk patterns basically. But the problem is that, they don't always say Like they might tell you to turn, but they don't necessarily remind you which direction to turn. And
Okay.
I frequently turn the wrong direction.
You,
And it's frustrating to the people that I'm dancing with.
you have that problem with like driving and stuff too, where you're like, you know, which direction am I going and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
Asking
Sean's
other
outing me.
drivers to dance.
So yeah, so at any rate, I did that. And then we came home and that was our week.
busy stuff.
Yeah, and then Sean
Hey,
went to Disney yesterday, as
Yeah.
he is
Hey,
wont to
Laura.
do.
I did, and ran into a friend over at Disney, which was pretty fun. I got to show him around. Hadn't been to Galaxy's Edge in a while, and so of course I know all the stuff. And we went on Smuggler's Run, and we got put in the ADA pod, which was really interesting. So it's like the way Smuggler's Run is set up. There are 2 turntables which have, I think, 7 pods on them that rotate, and so when you're flying through space, they're rotating
Yeah.
into different positions and loading them as you do your mission, and then it comes back around and they let you out. But there's one set off to the side which is really easy to get into if you are, you know, doing wheelchair stuff or whatever. And I'd never been in that one before, and that was really interesting. And we got out. You know, Stephen Kosoy, Jeff, was
Yes.
from OC Star Wars Society and stuff. So that's who I ran into.
I've done in a while.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
I hadn't seen him
This is-
in forever.
Yeah.
And so I was in
Yes,
Doc
well
Ondor's, and he's like, Obi-Shawn. I'm like, hey.
Huh.
So yeah, so I went on the ride with him, and he's
Nice.
like, this is the smoothest ride I've ever had on Smuggler's Run. I'm like, that's because we were in the ADA pod, and it's a little softer ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really, really
Oh,
very funny.
nice.
But
Hey, David. Yeah.
yeah, so it was a good Disney trip. Traffic was brutal getting in there, but once I finally got there, I got to like detox and stuff.
All right, so let's talk Star Wars. Jeff, hit it.
Okay. Oh, March 27th, 1943. That's when Grant McCune was born. And, well, of course, Star Wars. He was the one of the chief model maker, battle washer model maker. And also a whole mess of other stuff. Well, you know, at least it was 22 other ones that are pretty much knowable. I didn't know he worked on Jaws though before Star Wars. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Battlestar.
and he's really interesting because he maintained a friendship with John Dykstra, where he came back and sort of took over where the original ILM was in Van Nuys, and worked out of there. And so it went from ILM to Apogee to Grant McCune model making. He just took over the whole business, which was really cool.
Pretty awesome. And then we have the regular history because it was the only birthday. March 25th, 1976. Variety reports that Alec Guinness was cast in Star Wars as a bearded old Deseret, once lived a leading general in the Galactic Wars.
Yeah, more or less.
Blah, 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 blah.
Close enough.
Yeah. March 27th, 1985, Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian, got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Works every time.
And our last one, we have March 28th, 1985, and that's when the Star Wars Triple Bell went to screen in 9 cities in the U.S. and Canada.
That was also a Thursday, and I ditched school, and we went down, and we watched. It was at the Egyptian Theater, and they showed Star Wars and Empire and Jedi all in a row, which was pretty amazing.
What's amazing now is that this year they're showing 9 films.
They are.
Oh, no.
And I can't believe that this screening that Jeff just mentioned is like 39 years ago. It's absolutely crazy. But do you realize that all 9 of those Star Wars films are going to take 24 hours to watch?
I'm just trying to see what theaters they're playing in, but it's not showing
Yeah.
yet.
Well, I think in our case it's at the El Cap.
Oh, Fandango. Here we go.
And
Oh, can you imagine sitting in those tiny little seats in the El Cap for 24 hours?
good.
Oh, no.
I figure it's going to be like a party where people get up and walk around and move and get duck in and duck. I did a 6-film Star Trek marathon like that.
The when you want to get tickets, it says movie times start on Friday, May 3rd.
Yes, right. And I mean, because 24 hours plus time in between the movies and all that, how are you going to make that work?
Yep. Hey,
Actually, it is not playing at the El Capitan.
Oh, really?
I don't
Crazy.
think so. It's playing at the Regal Irvine Spectrum.
Huh.
It doesn't
Wow.
appear to be in LA County, but maybe this thing is. Let me try putting my zip code in and see.
Because good gravy, that would be. Well, they got to have a long space between movies. Because good gravy.
Well, you just sleep through the bad ones, really. But I feel like
Gotta sleep sometime.
right. I feel like
I
they
could
are
make it through eight movies.
they are getting the El Capitan, the Phantom Menace anniversary thing. No, here we go. I'm at the El Capitan site. The Skywalker Saga May the 4th Marathon.
On Fandango, they're only showing. Oh, wait a minute.
Get
the
tickets.
Irvine Spectrum.
Let me see. It's starting at 10 a.m. on May the 4th. I'm going to choose.
It insists, even though. Oh no, it's got Inglewood in here.
Do you want to know how much it costs? So, reserved seat, all you can eat
God.
popcorn, a poster, food, and more. That's the description before you buy your ticket. $135.
It's not bad for 9 movies. Right?
I'm looking at the seat selection right now. And what is
Dave, sleep for number 9, David. But
what's available?
but I could just leave.
There's almost nothing available.
Not a fan of that.
It's almost completely sold out.
Wow. Well, yeah, Fandango
I'll probably
only
sleep
thinks
through,
that
like,
Irvine
third
Spectrum
one.
is the closest to
No,
Los
that's not
Angeles.
true. Here, I'll show you guys while we're
Well, I mean,
talking
it
about
is true that Fandango thinks that.
These are the only seats that are available. So the first like 5 or 6 rows on
Oh,
the
God.
sides are available. And
Pass.
now
It's El Cap, though.
this said that the El Capitan has a lot of space between the screen and the seats. So but sitting in the front, you have to like look up over the stage, which is difficult. And
There's nothing in the balcony?
There's nothing in the balcony. I'm showing it right now. There
Holy
is
crap.
zilch in the balcony.
Damn.
It's all gone. Even the very last
Oh,
nosebleed row is gone.
That's got to be
that
really
crazy?
uncomfortable.
Yeah. So so I don't know. And I think so when we went to see the Star Trek marathon at the Fox Theater in Westwood, my friends and I, Colleen didn't go because she's smart. We like sat through 1 and 2 and then left for 3 and came back for 4 and then left for 5 and then came back for 6. It's like, we would like duck in and out of the theater, and it was kind of like a party. You didn't like camp in your seat, but the problem is the El Capitan is such an old theater and the seats are so tight in there. Now, if this Irvine theater has those big fluffy like the theater I saw Ghostbusters with Jeff in this past weekend had reclining
Set it on.
reclining seats, which was a lot like seeing a movie here at home. I mean, it was amazing. So that I could do. I could do.
Well, maybe you should be going down to the Irvine Spectrum to see it.
No, because the problem is it's on May the 4th, and I know everybody thinks they're like super cute in doing that. Going, oh, May the 4th, let's do it then. But May the 4th's on a Saturday, so not only does everybody and their sister want 501st and Rebel Legion to come to their event? And like I said, we just signed up for a parade in Orange. But the May the 4th is also very likely to be Free Comic Book Day because it's the first Saturday in May. And that's always a big day for all the charity people and stuff. And so, you know, if it were on the 5th or something, I would go. If it were not like that Saturday, I might attempt it. How much is the ticket in Irvine? Do you?
I closed it.
Oh, okay. No worries then.
I know it's not playing at the Cinemark right by me, so they're just playing Phantom Menace.
And El Capitan's going to get the Phantom Menace as well.
And what's weird is the El Capitan says they have it on the 3rd.
Weird. Yeah. Well, specifically it says buy the ticket for 10 a.m. Sunday. So unless it's got some other thing going on.
Yeah.
8 p.m.
On the 3rd?
Hang on. Yeah, May 3rd, 8 p.m. It is a very small theater, and there are no seats left.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it sold out
seats.
really fast. I was just curious what the price was.
It will not tell me because I need to select a seat.
Rude.
Yeah.
Can
More
you select?
info.
Can you select a handicap seat?
It doesn't have any handicap seats either. I was like clicking on them trying to get them to go, but they're all sold out. It does not tell me how many dollars it is. It does say select up to 20 seats, but then it won't let me select any. So moving along, Star Wars took over the Empire State Building.
This is pretty wicked. A lot of people were posting amazing pictures of this. Is there a link to pictures in the document? Let me go look.
Yeah.
And see, because oh my gosh, my Facebook feed was completely filled with this, and people I know from Lucasfilm were just like, ah, and I don't even think they were there. But you know how people do projection mapping and stuff? It's a big deal on the castles at Disneyland and that kind of thing. That's exactly what they did here. They showed video on the side of The Empire Strikes Back.
It does look pretty neat.
Yeah. Was pretty cool. Oh, video. Hang on. Let me make sure that the volume. There we go, because we'll get busted for the volume. So they did the lights at the top and then showed all of this video from all of the Star Wars movies across the entire side of the building.
Pretty
It's
neat.
pretty
Too bad they're not doing it when we go there.
Yeah. But it's sort of the first time I think they've ever done this.
They also had a meet and greet with Darth Vader inside, I think. Didn't they?
That's fun. Oh, and then there's a bunch of
They had product reveals, activities, spotlighting the villains of the Star Wars galaxy. And it was introduced by Hayden Christensen.
Ah.
It is pretty cool. I wonder how many floors that encompasses.
That's awesome.
I don't know.
I mean,
Pretty
most
great.
of them? I don't know.
It was synced to the Imperial March, Darth Vader's theme, which was played simultaneously on the Z100 New York radio station and the iHeartRadio app.
They
That's pretty epic.
also Oh, it's on the Disney Parks blog. That's why.
Yeah,
I was
that's what
trying
I'm
to figure
looking
out why they were showing all the Disney merch here.
That's why, because it's
why.
a Disney Parks blog. And I guess, Hayden got to throw the switch, basically.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's pretty epic. And I wonder if anyone we know was Darth Vader.
Don't know.
don't know. Shall we move on to theme parks?
Sure.
Disney plans to build one of the world's largest parking garages again.
Oh.
I feel like we have talked about this before.
Yeah.
But because we keep talking about Disney. Oh, well, this is a useless article anyway.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
none of us can. It's a firewall.
Let me see if I can get in.
Paywall. Sorry.
It's
Paywall.
OC register.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, sometimes.
But it's just the Disney forward information in a
Yeah.
different article.
Yeah.
We heard previously that the parking structure was going to be one of the world's largest parking structures.
Yeah, and
So this
honestly,
isn't new.
it doesn't look all that
It's weak.
different from what they already have at the park.
Hopefully it won't sink.
Right, the way the other one is. But honestly, this looks like Mickey and Friends and Pixar Pals, and they just added another one.
Yeah. They jammed it together.
But I guess this is going to be over sort of on the Toy Story side of things.
Right.
It's over behind where Melody Lane used to be, or behind the Garden Walk. There's a big old parking area over there. Is probably what they're showing.
Right.
There's
a Disney parking lot over there.
Here we go. 20,000 spaces. This is the
I
West
just wish-
Edmonton Mall is the largest one in the world. That's what we're seeing now.
It's awesome that they're building lots of room so that people can go, but wouldn't it be even better if they could build public transit that, like they have in Paris and in Japan,
Yeah.
where you can take a train and get to the park and not need to park at all?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, yeah, that would be amazing.
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I found out the price tag for the Saga in
in Irvine.
Irvine?
at the Irvine Spectrum. $45.
Oh, that's although I'm sure they're not giving you bottomless popcorn and stuff.
I don't think so, but it's $45, and I believe it starts at 8 p.m. instead of like in the morning.
The day before, yeah.
I don't know if it's the day before. I think it's.
It seemed to be the day of.
I heard that's interesting because I heard that it was starting like the day before in a lot of places.
Well, it can't be starting
maybe.
too much the day before at the El Capitan either, because they've got
No, El
episode-
Capitan's at 10 a.m.
day of, right?
Yeah, day
Okay,
of.
because they're showing episode 1 the day before.
Yeah.
They have a big screening of it.
Pre-order tickets now. Yeah, no, I think it does. It must start on the 3rd. Yeah, I think it starts at 8 o'clock on the 3rd, and then continues on till whenever.
That
the heck
makes
it's
sense. 8 p.m.
20
on the
hours
3rd.
later.
Yeah. Although I wonder if they're trying to make like certain movies hit at like, would you want the original Star Wars to be in the middle of the night because everybody's seen it a bunch of times, or at
Right.
a time when people would normally be awake? It's all these tough decisions.
Here's a person on Reddit who bought tickets for both the El Capitan and Irvine.
Why?
Because they weren't really sure which was going to be a better experience, but of course they
Irvine.
spent. It says $137 for El Cap and $47 for Irvine.
But at El Capitan, you can go next door to Ghirardelli and eat ice
I know.
cream.
Yeah, I mean, all told, it'll probably be a better experience. We know James Wood over there, who is the Disney Experience guy, who works out of that theater, and he always busts his butt to do something really unusual and cool.
But the seats might be more comfortable in Irvine.
That's a guarantee. I can almost guarantee that.
All it says is stadium seating. That's all it
Yeah.
tells me about that. It doesn't tell me
Um,
a whole lot else.
Somebody here says another thing that you should consider is start times. In Irvine, it starts Friday night. At El Cap, it's Saturday morning. As a person with a job, I'd rather get a full night of sleep on Friday night.
Yeah. Good
And then
grief.
everyone else is complaining that they don't even have a theater near them that does it. But it says it's very likely if you attend the screening at the El Cap, there will be surprise guests showing up between the movies.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe.
Which is almost certain because like Ryan Johnson showed up for Rogue One and Ahmed Best showed up. I know they've had all sorts of guests show up for their various screenings.
Ryan Johnson.
So, yeah, for Rogue One. Or no, not Rogue One.
For episode
The Last
Jedi?
Yeah.
Okay.
9.
I mean, it'd be cool to see about the other one too, but
Yeah.
that would make a lot of sense.
Okay, let's talk about the Season of the Force foodie guide.
And that's the real Disney one?
The food guide from the Season of the Force. It's the Disney
Yeah.
park.
I'm just trying to get
guide.
it open.
All right, I wasn't sure what you were asking me. I found
very
that this
blank right
was
now.
pretty uninspired.
Really?
Yeah. I am not excited by the food offerings.
That's a bummer.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, the inevitable Wookiee cookie. What else have we...
Lightsaber churros.
Why did this put us on a completely different page? Hello, Disney Parks blog.
You had it there a second ago.
I did, and now it went away, and it won't let me back up
Boo.
or do whatever. Here we go, Season of the Force. The Toydarius Swirl is coming back. I like that.
That made me happy.
Right. Fried chicken bao, no thanks. Jabba the Hutt bucket. People want this pretty badly.
Dewback chili noodles look like they could be good.
Oh, there we go.
He looks actually the Jabba one's pretty cool.
The Jabba one's pretty cute. You open his head to eat popcorn, and he's got a little Salacious Crumb dangler. That'll be super popular, I'm sure.
Right.
Dewback chili noodles.
That one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, those look like a good replacement for some other pasta dishes they've had in the past.
Yeah.
The Docking Bay 7 usually has a good pasta dish.
Yeah.
Or a good soup dish, or there's at least one dish that's good.
Wow, there's a burger here that looks like it has just a little too much on it.
It does, and that's
Wow.
from
It
the.
is the Bantha burger from the Galactic Grill.
Okay.
Angus beef and vegetable patty. I assume it's either
What the hell?
or. I'm sure it's beef or vegetable patty.
I think
mean,
it's
yeah, 'cause it
probably
only
a
looks like
beef
one
and
in the
vegetable
picture.
patty
Oh, really?
all in one.
Maybe
Because they also have pork belly on it.
marinated pork belly. Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Asian slaw and sweet mayo on a toasted brioche bun. Loaded fries with chorizo. Wookiee parfait. Watermelon slush with Death Star glow cube. And Granny Smith apple slush with a Millennium Falcon glow cube.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, the thing about these pictures, and you can, if you're watching us on video, you can see what I'm talking about, is that they always have like these really great glasses and stuff that they're serving these things in, but they almost never really serve them this way.
Yeah. Look how fancy it is, and it just comes to you in like a plastic cup or something. About
A whole bunch of drinks at Oga's, and this is going through June 2nd, so it's like a full 2 months of
April 5th through June 2nd.
all of this
So
stuff.
it's
Yeah.
it's opening
Wow.
up a week from
almost 2
tomorrow.
months. Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
I think I have a Disney reservation for that day,
You do.
so it'll be interesting.
I would like to
see.
know what the item is directly above the Oga's Cantina. What looks like a petri dish filled with Jell-O and sprinkles.
Oh, that. They have something like that at Oga's already.
Oh, that.
Is
yeah.
that the Oga's obsession?
It is. I
Oh,
think
okay.
so.
But is it Jell-O or is it a drink?
Nah, it's kind of a Jell-O. It's
Weird.
like with boba and with stuff on it, and so
Do you eat it with a spoon?
they've had an Oga's obsession
Weird.
before. Did it go away and they had to bring it back?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe they just changed the flavor.
I've only been in Oga's like 3 times, maybe twice.
I've been in there one time, but
Oh, I see. So two
not
of
much of
these
anything
things have souvenir glasses, which I think are these 2 pictures. I think
Oh.
these are the
Oh.
souvenir glasses. So you will get it in a cool glass, or conversely, you'll get it in a glass and then you'll get the glass in a box to take home.
okay.
Yeah, that's what they'll probably do.
Yeah. So the Chandrillin orb glass. Now, the Star Cruiser line was the Chandrilla line.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is a carryover from...
Like if these were left over.
Yeah, because both of them are Chandrillin.
Yeah.
So Chandrillin orb glass and Chandrillin chalice.
And they both look like things that you would get
Right.
there.
We
It's
have
like,
all this left over.
what are we going to do with these glasses? Yeah, I mean, kind
Yeah.
of.
Well, they were probably a glass that you could buy there. And now they have too many of them.
Yeah, interesting. We'll have to do some research on these things.
Ronto Roasters is getting a new drink.
Oh, yeah?
Orange juice, white grape juice, red passion fruit, and hibiscus.
Oh, nice.
They're calling it Pasana Punch. And then that Star Wars cookie with the X-Wing that they have in the Grand Californian.
Ah, here we go. Drinks and drinkware from Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser are debuting at Oga's Cantina at Disneyland during Season of the Force. The Silver Sea Martini and the Fury Mustafarian, plus the Chandrillin Chalice and Chandrillin Orb Glass. I don't see anyone who has commented on this, though, to, like, verify. Oh, here we go. The drinks were served on the Halcyon with the Fury Mustafarian and the Silver Sea Martini. And the Chalice and the Orb Glass are new drinks being served in similar souvenir glasses.
So I
Okay.
bought some of that butterfly pea flower tea
Yeah?
so that we could make drinks.
Nice.
Ooh, neato.
Very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some pretty neat stuff. Is this this must be at the hotel. That's pretty cool.
That's at the Grand California.
Grand California, and they always do
Cool.
some really neat. Is this an old picture though?
Probably.
It doesn't.
Because didn't they have that last year?
This showpiece depicting the Millennium Falcon arriving in Black Spire Outpost was created by.
But I believe the same thing was.
Yeah, maybe they
Last
just
year.
redid it. I don't know, because I'd be surprised that they had pictures of it already.
Yeah.
Although I guess it goes up in a week. So
Don't know.
anyway, this Jabba looks pretty cute. And then
Yeah.
we talked about this bucket last week.
Yeah, the,
of
the beheaded stormtrooper.
the weird helmet. I'm really curious to see how big it is. Plus, if it's big enough, you can put it on Jabba.
Yeah, totally.
And they've got a Grogu sipper.
They do. It looks like he has a different thing in his hands,
Maybe it's a cookie.
or maybe not. It's a frog.
Oh.
Oh, and actually, it looks like they're bringing stuff back. Grogu Sipper, which I feel like we had before, and the Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket is coming back. Because I remember that was a big deal.
Did they
Nice.
have the Rancor beer flight served in whatever these are, in Rancor teeth?
Yeah, that's old. That's an old drink. Unless they changed what you're getting in there. But you've been able to buy that for a while.
I gotta say, at some point before they go away, I need to get one of those baby Yoda apples.
Yeah, they're really adorable, right?
Right.
We get a discount in there, too. Marceline's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's the Vader mug. These are all repeats. The Acid Spitter Sipper is back. So,
Yeah.
Very interesting.
There is the pineapple and ube crescent sundae at the Tropical Hideaway, which looks mildly interesting, but also
Yeah.
like not at the same
Weird.
time.
I
And-
can't place a flavor to ube.
It's ube flavored.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't sit there and go, oh. Whereas, if
It's probably close to like red bean paste or something.
I don't know.
This, I don't know where it's going to be, but this crab dish with the crab claws looks pretty funny. Up one more.
Yeah, it does look pretty silly. It's weird. It's like, actually, it reminds me of
Royal Street Veranda. That's where it is.
it reminds me of Olani. Isn't that like the archway for Olani? Doesn't it look like that?
Yeah, maybe. And honestly, the cinnamon roll sundae from Gibson Girl does not look good at all to me. Not even a little bit.
They tried. I mean,
Which
Yeah.
one? Which one is
Leia.
that? The cinnamon.
The one
buns
right next to the crab claws.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It doesn't.
Leia ice
It
cream.
doesn't look great.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great.
Should maybe chocolate or something, because that would chocolate ice
Right.
cream might work a little better because she has black hair.
That's really funny.
So anyway, I didn't see
Okay.
anything that I
That's
found
the
to
Olani
be.
logo that the crab claws make me think of.
I didn't find anything that I found to be extremely compelling. If I missed
There we go.
all of these, I wouldn't cry.
Yeah, there's nothing making me go, oh my god, add it to the list.
Yeah.
We are going to one of the Star Wars nights, and we'll see how we feel about the special food there, I guess.
Josh Gad showed up at Disneyland and got to be a railroad conductor for a day.
Yeah.
How fun is that?
Now, hasn't
That was
Josh
cute.
Gad also been a Jungle Cruise skipper?
I think
Yeah,
Josh
yes.
Gad just comes to the park and says, I want to do a job, and they go, you can.
Right, does whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, basically, if he said he wanted to do one of these things, I'm sure Disneyland would make it happen because
Yeah.
how excited is everybody about it?
Yeah.
I wonder how.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I wonder how, basically, like, are they approaching him or is he approaching them?
I would like to know.
I have no idea.
That's pretty funny. So Jeff, you used to work in costuming, right?
Yep.
At Disney. Now,
Yep.
A friend of mine and probably ours, Dave, who works in PhotoPass, took his costume into costuming, and it needed like a fix, and they said that they're not responsible for stuff like that. Doesn't that sound weird to you? Who is responsible
Yeah.
for that if not
That's new.
They're making cast members sew their own costumes?
I would hope not.
He said this. So costuming literally told me that it was not their responsibility to ensure that I had costumes in good repair and well-fitting. That is the definition of their job.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if because Disney used to have on-site seamstresses and such. They probably still do, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And they would often do the repairs for like whenever we'd have a costume come back that something happened to it, a rip or the seam tore or something. Just send it up to them. They'd fix it and send it right back
But
down.
yeah, you'd think that they'd want to have someone in their department fix it.
Right. Well,
And then,
and you're supposed to check your costumes out, right?
Yeah.
And so he says this as a follow-up. I was told it might be better to get a well-fitting costume and just keep it, so you will always have one ready. But he's PhotoPass. He bounces around. So there's like a PhotoPass costume. There's like one that they wear in Galaxy's Edge. There's like all that stuff. And he's like, if I keep it, it's one less costume for other people to check out.
Well,
And when he's only there once or twice a week and he keeps the costume, that means someone else can't do it.
I know that there's a bit of a problem regarding like people that are PhotoPass that like that position compared to like other positions in the park, and I don't know what the deal is. I know that Randy was having difficulties,
Yeah.
and it's also not union either. It's
Right.
a non-union thing, so I don't know if that's some sort of thing where they're like, well, stop. You're not a regular. You're not like the other cast member costumes. So go do this or something. I don't know if there's some derision or whatever you want to call it that's going on. But no, when I worked there, um, yeah, it was a different situation when I was working there. They changed the rules. Um, when I worked there, you get the costume you were going to get, and I guess if you're working there, you basically threw the thing in your locker or something if you weren't bringing it back in, because you could not take it off property. Costumes were not allowed off property,
Right.
and they changed that after sometime after I left, where you could go home and wash it yourself and everything else, and you weren't allowed to do that either. You couldn't wash it yourself. Um, we probably still do. They probably still do. They probably still have it as a on-site laundry area that was basically back behind Space Mountain, and that's where wardrobe is too, behind Space Mountain.
It just seemed really weird to me.
Yeah,
and it's nuts. Let me jump in here real quick. You were listening to Docking Bay 94 on sci-fi.radio, sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. That is our primary means of broadcasting. But you could be seeing us on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch. All of those are cool too. The station is where we kind of got started, and the video sort of like fills in the gaps. But anyway, you choose to check us out. We are very grateful for doing that. So thanks for that. Like us or subscribe us or do those things they always ask you to do. I'm terrible at that, so whatever. I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
Just Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Very grateful to see all y'all, especially chatting away over on the thing. And just so you know, Don has made it safely to Los Angeles.
Hey.
I know that you were worried about that. So.
Is that for WonderCon, Don?
Yeah, he's coming down for WonderCon, I think.
Wait, shouldn't he be in Anaheim then?
Well, when you live up north, LA is in general. So.
I see. Okay, so one more thing about that Josh Gad visit. If you guys get a chance to check out that video, at the end of the video, he operates another ride. So check it out.
Bonus ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the costume he has on, I'm like, what? I was trying to nail down some of that. I'm like,
yeah, he has a different costume on for a different. He doesn't actually operate the ride; he rides on it, but he's wearing the ride operator costume.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I bet they gave him a well-fitting costume.
Yeah, I bet. In exciting news about Disney that we had to decide whether to put it in the theme park section or not, because we're going to talk about an Imagineer, and that's that Joe Rohde is returning to Imagineering. And we believe that the reason he is returning to Imagineering, without opening the article to find out, is that under past management of Disney, they were going to make all of the Imagineers move to Florida. And so many of the Imagineers quit rather than move to Florida. And that was recently overturned and with the new management. And now Imagineers do not have to be solely in Florida.
Right. Yeah. Well, and so just so that you guys know, to clarify, if you've been watching any of the background stuff for the Disney Plus Imagineering things, Joe Rohde is the guy with the crazy earring hanging out of his ear. He's like kind of an old hippie. And they haven't said what his employment status is, if he's like back, what he's really doing, but he is doing a whole bunch of master classes for Imagineers. And so he's coming in as an advisor. He's coming in as like a guy with a lot of Imagineering experience under his belt. And I believe he worked on the Avatar attraction in Florida, which means if they're bringing one here, he will be the guy to tap for that.
Yeah. He also worked on Everest. So if they get him back, see if they get him to fix the Yeti.
They also just announced last week, which we talked about on the show, that he is going to be honored as a
legend.
Disney legend in August.
Yeah.
There's a photo of him here in this article, Sean.
Okey dokey.
If you care to share that with people.
Yeah. He always looks like sort of like an explorer with earrings, so like so.
Yeah, it's
the way he's dressed. And
it's really funny because this the earring is always like really awkward to me, and I'm sure it has some sort of very deep personal meaning to him, and it's got it's got all sorts of stuff. It's like connected to so much stuff. But he's been wearing it for so long that his ear has become so long. It's really kind of crazy. But it is also his trademark. It's like, some people get tattoos on their face. He's got a crazy earring.
Yeah.
And it's neat. So he's it is cool. Whoops. That he's coming back. And he's here with Jim Cameron walking around
there you go.
Animal
for
Kingdom.
Avatar.
So yeah. So I'm pretty sure that whatever they have him doing, it will center around Avatar, because
At least
he did a lot of. I'm pretty sure that is there an episode on Pandora on Disney Plus?
probably. But I understand that James Cameron wants to add more because the movie they just made the movie, so he wants to add more stuff to Avatar Land or the rides and stuff. So.
Moving on to Florida, except that I'm sure Sean is looking something up.
Well, I was
there.
I was looking up specifically to see how involved he was with Pandora, and the answer is basically a lot. He basically sort of oversaw all of that, and Flight of Passage, and all of that. So it says that not only did Rhodey help design Pandora, inspired by Avatar, but he also imagined and designed the concept of Disney's Animal Kingdom. So he was sort of like the inspiration for the whole park.
Nice.
Yep, cool stuff.
Man.
Moving on to Florida, there is a new drone show coming to Walt Disney World's Disney Springs. It's called Dreams That Soar, and it's scheduled to run May 24th through September 2nd.
Cool.
They've been doing drone shows in Paris, I think, at Disneyland Paris, and they look pretty great. You can find some videos of them. And the one thing that's really selling me on the drone shows is that they are picking up speed. So before, when they used to do drone shows, it would take a while, and they'd like video them and then speed up the video, because otherwise you'd spend way too much time watching these designs form. And apparently they're reaching the point where they could just knock them out a whole lot faster. The Disney Parks blog says, You Can Fly takes on a whole new meaning as we showcase Disney stories celebrating the joy of flight with state-of-the-art drones choreographed to create designs in the sky and paired with a soaring musical score. See what we did there. And memorable movie quotes. So that's kind of cool. But apparently, we did not see this. Oh, and here's why we didn't see it. So Colleen and I were in Tokyo Disney in April, and they had a special drone show for the 40th anniversary of that park, which we celebrated when we were there. But the drone show wasn't in the park. It traveled around the country.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Because I'm like, why didn't we see that? I would have watched that. It would have been better than the parade thing, flotilla, boat, whatever it was we saw.
You know, Dave said that he enjoyed it better than we did, that show.
David?
And I think that part of our lack of enjoyment of it was that we were so low that it was hard to see the bottoms of it.
Yeah.
And also how uncomfortable we were with where we were sitting.
And that we spent a lot of time waiting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
apparently
money.
they just like walked up and leaned over the railing and watched it.
Yeah.
And I think I would have probably
We should have done that.
cut it a lot more slack if we had done that.
Right.
Because we bought tickets to see it. We got a seat and we sat on the ground on the cement in this area, and it was not ideal. So
Yep.
I've heard that too from other people. They're like, "Oh, what we saw of it as we were walking past it was really awesome." So maybe it was just like trying to commit to it was a bad idea.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Florida's Universal? Is
Yeah,
it Universal?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Epic Universe is the new Universal park that's going in.
They've got a new How to Train Your Dragon area.
Yeah.
Which is funny because
The Isle of Burke.
they were teasing something and they were using like the Ghostbusters font to tease it with this sort of starry backgroundy thing, and it really looked like they were going to do a Ghostbusters thing.
Well, maybe they're doing a
Man, they did
Ghostbusters thing
once.
too.
So
They had a show. They had like a show back in like the '80s, I guess. It was a Ghostbuster show
they did, yeah,
at Universal.
which was kind of cool. So yeah, if you like How to Train Your Dragon, it looks like it could be a lot of fun. And I imagine that wouldn't it be funny if they just like completely rip off the Pandora ride?
There's an article here that says Ghostbusters rumored to return to Universal Studios Florida. That
Yeah.
came out a month ago.
Maybe
Yeah,
so.
But it's all speculation.
I
Yeah.
imagine they might do it. It depends. I mean, if they still have Sony and Columbia own that. It's not a Universal property per se, so they'd have to license it again, I think.
Yeah.
But it's not like they haven't done that before. But yeah, it's kind of a neat looking thing, and the series is still pretty popular, I think. So
What they have to do is that virtual game that we did for
the thing we did at the Void.
The Void. Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
that would be great.
Problem is they
That'd be
can't
pretty
crank
cool.
enough people through that fast
Yeah.
enough. But
True.
yeah, they
They need to come up with a better way of doing it then.
right. Well, what they need to do is put you in the ectomobile and take you for a ride.
That would be
They
cool.
do
pretty much.
like what they did for Back to the Future, which had an 8-person DeLorean. They'll make an
Yeah.
8-person ectomobile, drive people through it. So yeah, we'll see. It looks
That'd be
interesting. They
pretty
got
cool.
some roller coasters going on, and I love the stuff that they're showing where it's like as if dragons will be flying all over the place.
Yeah.
Like I don't
There's-
think that's
yeah.
that's how that's gonna work.
The
Right.
other video has a CG fly through, which is basically part of what they just showed.
Right.
And it's I don't think they have a motion ride going. I know they have a show that they're going to do, and there's like a roller coaster and a thing where where you're on one of those little swing arm things.
Right.
You can make your little
I saw
dragon
that.
spin around.
Have
And
you
there's a couple other things.
have you done Flights of Passage in Animal Kingdom at Pandora? I haven't seen Pandora. We haven't been there. But the idea is that you're flying on one of their creatures, right?
Yeah,
For
that's the
Flights of
idea.
Passage. I really feel like that's the kind of ride that needs to be here.
Yeah. You get up, you have goggles on, and you get in a little rig, and then you fly down and fly around and do this thing, and it's literally it's like Soarin', in that you're and like Back to the Future. It's a big parabolic screen or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and there's several of you stacked or whatever flying, experiencing the same thing.
Oh, that's
so to
cool.
speak. But it's 3D with your goggles and whatnot, and the mount that you're on and everything. So it makes it pretty cool, and I hope that they do something more. Like they add some more to it, because James Cameron would like to. But
I feel bad for the actors they need to get to play Hiccup here because they're going to have to cut their legs off.
Oh.
yeah.
That's
There is a
terrible.
part in the that they have in here where you can actually meet Toothless. So they'll
Yeah.
have like I don't know if it's an animatronic guy in a suit animatronic or what, but it's just gonna be go up and meet Toothless.
It looks like people in a suit,
Sure.
and I imagine it's very much like meeting a raptor or some of the other
Yeah.
dinosaurs which Universal has been doing very well. They've been really
Yeah.
good with their creature meetups and things like that, and I'm sure that they'll be able to nail this.
Yeah.
And I feel like it'll have to be a person in a costume because
Yeah.
I think doing it technologically from an insurance standpoint would be too expensive.
Yeah.
And you know,
Sure.
there's all these stories about how in Jurassic Park they were using dinosaurs on various hydraulic rams and pneumatic rams and things like that, and they kept knocking their actors over and clobbering stuntmen. And I don't
Gotcha.
think it's quite there yet,
Yeah.
unless it's a thing that you stand very much apart from.
Yeah.
But they want you to go meet him, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like that's the
Yeah. That would
That's
make
gonna
sense
be
to be a character, a person in suits, or one or two people in a suit for that matter.
yeah.
A lot of puppetry going on.
Well,
There's a restaurant too.
there's a whole elaborate video that you can watch for Epic Universe.
Yeah.
With the whole park opens in 2025,
Yeah.
so we've got a little time, and I guess as time goes on, they'll drop more stuff. And this is they're keeping Islands of Adventure, right?
I believe so.
So it's like
just
it's
another-
Universal
another
Studios
park.
Florida, Islands of Adventure, and now Epic Universe.
Yeah.
So-
It could to compete with Disney basically.
Oh,
'Cause
completely.
Disney's got
Yeah,
how
yeah.
many, like what, 4 parks over there?
Well, and that's why I expect them to completely rip off Flights of Passage.
Something.
So, but yeah.
Eric confirms that it's not a motion ride, that there's no motion ride.
Yeah.
Well, they're just no fun.
Sean, you want to take the rest in peace section?
I will. It's very short this week, blissfully
Yay.
so.
Yeah,
And
it's darn good.
the who we did lose was Ron Harper, who was in all sorts of stuff. He's Windy and Me and 87th Precinct and the Gene Arthur Show. And he was in Planet of the Apes and Land of the Lost. He used to be an understudy for Paul Newman because he's got that kind of vibe. And but he worked with Norman Fell and Gina Rowlands on this cop show, which does it say? Oh, he just passed away of natural causes at the age of 91, which, I mean, that's pretty great if you could make it to that age and you can do it whatever. But he was astronaut Alan Verdon in Planet of the Apes.
Oh, okay.
So, and he, it was on the TV series on CBS that he did that. So if you ever watch the TV series of that, he did. There were only 14 episodes. It, like, didn't do very well, and
Okay.
he said our Planet of the Apes stories degenerated into The Fugitive with fur. Now I kind of want to see it, right? And then of course
Totally.
he was in Land of the Lost for the last season. He was Uncle Jack.
Oh, okay.
He took over for
Oh,
Marshall.
I see. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
You remember that? And it's like,
Yes, I do. Yes.
because Spencer Milligan, who was
His Will Marshall.
yeah he
Or not Will Marshall. He is God, what the hell was his first name? I can't remember now. Ah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
so anyway, sad
Ouch.
sad news. But he was the understudy for Paul Newman when
Yeah.
they did Tennessee Williams' play Sweet Bird of Youth, and so when Paul Newman was sick, he would like sit it out, but he'd sit in the audience and watch him play the role, which has got to be pressure. You're like understudying for a guy, and instead of being homesick, he's in the audience watching you do his part. It's like, oh man, that's gotta be rough. Anyway, sad to hear of his passing. But 91,
Nice.
excellent
Well, that's
run.
not bad, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you want to start the speed round?
Sure. So they recently released a short like a day or so ago, a couple days ago. That is called "The Spider Within a Spider-Verse Story," and it's a short animated film done exactly in the same style as the animated films. But it tells the story. It basically tells you the internal struggle that Miles is going through. With everything that's happened to him that he can't tell anybody about, So and some of it is portrayed in dreams, in a dream, in like a nightmare he has, and it's like some somewhat abstracted parts, but I mean it's really good, just like just like the movies are. So, God, if you get a chance to try and watch it, I enjoy it a lot. I don't want to give too much away.
Where can people watch it, Jeff?
YouTube's
Okay.
the easiest way. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think we have a link in the thing somewhere. So if Kate grabs it, she can throw it over there.
Cool.
It's in the show notes. But yeah, it was really good.
I want to talk about a trailer I watched. Coming to Netflix on May 3rd is a new movie called Unfrosted. And it is about the beginnings of Pop-Tarts. And it is a
fictionalized
comedy.
account.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is got all the actors in it.
Yeah.
It looks very fun in that all of the colors of the costumes and the backgrounds and everything are very bright. It's all set early 1960s, I think, late 1950s.
Sometime.
And it just looks like a ton of fun.
Oh yeah. And Jim Gaffigan, woohoo! He's in it too.
Yeah, it's a lot less dry of a subject than you would imagine.
An unfrosted Pop-Tart to be, because those are kind of dry.
Breakfast cereal in general.
I'm just going to list some of the cast in this. James Marsden, Melissa McCarthy, Hugh Grant, Dan Levy, Christian Slater, Thomas Lennon, Max Greenfield, Amy Schumer, Bill Burr, Fred Armisen, Cedric Yarbrough, Jerry Seinfeld, Jack McBrayer, Jim Gaffigan, Bobby Moynihan. I'm skipping over some of the people. Gordon Tarpley,
Oh, what's he
wow.
playing?
Pink Gorilla.
Pink Gorilla.
All right,
So our friend Gordon plays a lot of creature characters and does makeup demos at conventions. So right on, go Gordon.
That's awesome.
And I don't know if I see anybody else I recognize.
I went to Korea with Gordon. He was on our trip.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's because you didn't bring back any pictures because someone stole your phone.
Someone stole my phone at San Diego Comic-Con, and it was the security guard. And I'm so pissed.
Man.
So pissed.
Yeah. Anyway, this movie looks super fun. If you have Netflix, be sure and keep an eye out for it in the beginning of May.
Cool.
Sean?
Oh, let's see. I will leave this one for Jeff, I think.
Okay.
Hans Zimmer is going to go on tour. He has been doing soundtracks and things for an extremely long time. And his he runs an entire company that basically churns out soundtracks and lets other composers come in and work on soundtracks. And he's got 20 people working at any time. So he did music for The Lion King, not the songs, but the soundtrack for The Lion King, Dune, Dark Knight, all that kind of stuff. And so he's had a successful tour in Europe, and now he's coming to North America. He's going to do 17 cities in the U.S. and Canada.
Cool.
He's 66, and so it seems like a pretty good time to kind of slow down and take some tours and stuff. He said that he was bullied into touring. He says, it wasn't my fault. I got bullied into it, bullied by my friends, by other musicians, going, there comes a point where you have to come out of your dark, windowless room. You have to stop hiding behind a screen, and you have to actually look your audience in the eye and do things in real time. And of course, Zimmer is known for electronic music in a lot of cases. He does, a lot of compositions and stuff like that. Crimson Tide and Gladiator and Inception and Interstellar and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, it might be really cool. I imagine he will come to the Hollywood Bowl. Seems like the likely place for that. So we'll have to check out. But if you're a fan of movie soundtracks, this might be, your chance to hear some music you don't usually get to hear. I mean, it's one thing to have John Williams come do his greatest hits. This is a little different. So, you might want to check into it. The tour dates run from September 8th to October 6th. And let's see if he's got any California. Crypto.com Arena. So, I mean, that's big. That's the old Staples Center. That's a huge place. That's October 1st. And October 3rd is Oakland Arena in Oakland, California. But he's in British Columbia, Seattle, Texas. He's in Denver, Toronto, Montreal, Boston, all over the place. All over the place. So, nice. Super cool. That could be really fun.
Jeff?
I'm not really sure which one Sean was talking about that I was going to do.
Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, the Pirates. Okay.
I figured that's closer to your heart than my heart. So.
Well, it is, and this article probably isn't. But so it's they're saying Pirates of the Caribbean 6 gets an update is what the title of the thing is, but it won't really. By the way that they're talking about this, and Jerry Bruckheimer says, which I don't know if Bruckheimer can really be trusted with what he's saying here, but saying that what they're gonna do now is just reboot the franchise with the next movie.
Why?
And it's he just says he's talking about Top Gun, and he says, but we're gonna reboot Pirates, so it's easier to put together because you don't have to wait for certain actors. And that's all he said. It was like a blurb somewhere. I'm like,
it doesn't make any sense to me because it's a big world. Why not just follow someone else? Yeah. Okay, look, we've had 5 stories with Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Follow
somebody else now.
Exactly.
I mean, make up a new person. You could still have it in the same world. You don't have to, want, cast somebody else's.
The other two.
Yeah. It's dumb. I don't know. Yeah. Rebooting stuff doesn't make sense to me. And we have seen recently how trying to reboot Ghostbusters was not the right choice, and continuing the stories that happened in the universe was the right choice. Yeah. I don't want to see this happen to Pirates of the Caribbean. I like it. It seems like it would crash and burn to me.
Yeah.
And they didn't reboot Top Gun. They added to it.
It would make more sense to follow the storyline because, I mean, Barbossa has a daughter, and Will and I can't remember their name now. God, they have a son or whatever. So it's like they can continue with them if they want, and then just have some other characters with the background if they anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of other people to follow, and or go back into the Pirates of the Caribbean ride and do something else. They have Red now. Follow Red. What is she up to? What's her thing?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, but they took her out of the ride, didn't they? Oh no, they made her a pirate.
They took out the other and made a pirate.
Yeah. Her name's probably Scarlet now or something. But they basically made her more of a character and less of a passive object.
Yeah.
I'm a fan
of
my doing that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's lots of stuff that you can do. Well, you could do an entire movie that follows the entire ride, like in that
Yeah.
town, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It was Elizabeth Swann, yes.
Okay, so I watched another trailer.
Oh.
And this one, I already knew I was going to watch this. Disney Plus's new Doctor Who series starts on May 10th. And since my birthday is on May 11th, I know what I'm doing for my birthday.
Oh, I thought it was May 11th. That's what we've been reporting over on the radio page.
I don't know. It says 5:10 here. I didn't write this, though, so I can't be sure. The trailer was fun, but basically I was going to watch it regardless of what the trailer looked like.
Gotcha.
Now, as I understand it, apparently they're going to do something, and they're also calling it a reboot, which is weird because I've seen it reported as season 1, which doesn't make much sense.
Maybe it's
to
season
me.
1 of Disney Plus.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that's all it is.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, you know, if you look it up on Disney Plus, it will say season 1 because that's how Disney works.
Well, I mean, because when 9 started, that was season 1.
Right. So it's going to be weird. But from what I understand, they're going to deal a lot more with the butterfly effect. Which
Did you watch the trailer?
No, I didn't get to see it.
All about that in the
okay.
trailer.
It's basically the smallest action, then balloons into
They show
sweeping
Ruby
changes.
stepping on a butterfly.
Oh, okay.
And then,
Yeah.
and she asks, before it happens, she asks the doctor if she could cause a change by doing that. And then she steps on a butterfly and things change.
All hell breaks loose.
And he's
Of
like,
course.
oops.
Yeah. Well, and we've already seen it happen a little bit with gravity becoming the term mavity. And so
Yeah.
it's like on a very low level that's like kind of a running gag, which is sort of funny. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be really good because they never really dealt with that in Doctor Who. They always talk about fixed points in time that cannot be changed, and they've discussed those kind of things. But they've never talked about like doing something in the past and then coming back to a future they do not recognize.
Right. Ncuti Gatwa looks like he's going to continue to be a really good doctor.
Oh, I hope so.
I
I hope so. He's certainly very different. He's a lot more flamboyant than we've seen in. But the Doctor's always had quirkiness.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I imagine continuing to do that is a really good idea. And I hope people give him a chance and don't just start like ripping him apart.
Disney Plus says that
Yeah.
May 10th is the Doctor Who
Doctor Hugh.
Doctor Who
Doctor
debuts
Who.
May 10th with multiple episodes.
Okay, well, there you go. I guess we've reported it wrong over on sci-fi.radio. I won't tell because I'm like, it's Colleen's birthday. Awesome.
Right, yeah.
What a present. So that's pretty cool.
Sean, what do you want to talk about?
So this movie gets thrown around quite a bit from time to time. There are apparently people who do want to see it. I'm not sure I know too many of them, but they keep talking about making a live action version of Thundercats, the cartoon series Thundercats, which is the sort of, you know, anthropomorphized cat group that runs around and has barbarian style adventures. And so Simon Barrett is working on the script with Adam Wingard. Adam Wingard is the director of Godzilla times Kong: The New Empire, which is coming out very soon. And he was announced as the director for Thundercats like way before that. So we'll have to see how it goes. He said, I heard there was a Thundercats script out there. It happened to be set up with some of my producers on Death Note. And I asked them, and he said, I want to rewrite the script because it's a huge passion thing for me. He says, nobody on this planet knows or has thought as much about Thundercats as I have. So, I mean, he does kind of sound like the guy to do this, if that's really the case. And, you know, I guess he's all about directing action, as you will soon see in Godzilla times Kong.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. I'm not exactly, you know, amped for this, but maybe it'll be great. I don't know.
Yeah.
I need
That's
to make a
true.
clarification.
Okay.
So Doctor Who is, for the first ever time, has a simultaneous worldwide release, which means that it is premiering Friday, May 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern on Disney Plus,
Okay.
which will be Saturday, May 11th at midnight in England.
I see. Okay.
So it is doing both.
So yeah, you're
It is premiering
both
both on the
dates are
10th and the
correct.
11th. Yeah.
okay. Complicated.
Right. Yes. But it'll be, if it's 7 p.m. Eastern, it'll be, 4 o'clock here
Right.
in California. So, and it's interesting because it says the audiences will return to The Church on Ruby Road, which was his premiere episode, and journey through 2 all-new episodes. So basically, they're dropping 2 new episodes.
With a throwback to the first one so that you can get a frame of reference for who the new guy is.
Honestly, the first one premiered on Disney Plus, and I could go watch it right now on Disney Plus.
Right.
So I don't know why maybe they're just telling people go back and watch this episode first. So
Yeah.
not sure.
All right.
And also, if you don't get a chance to watch the trailer, there is a portion of the trailer where they go to Regency England and Ruby exclaims, "Oh, Bridgerton!"
Yeah.
Which is really cute.
It's all whatever the latest and greatest is. That's
Yeah.
for sure. It's really funny.
Jeff?
Yeah. So there's a Florence Pugh is in the movie The Thunderbolts coming soon, so she's the new Black Widow, so to speak. And she did a whole she basically walked around on the set, so to speak, to a point, and you could see what her costume's going to look like, because she's like, I can show you this, and then it walked around, I can show you this, and there's not really a whole lot else to see, but basically the costume she's wearing, and she comes in and she bugs the director who's looking at the screen, and he's and you got to see what the logo looks like on the back of the director's chair.
What is this
and such,
that you saw?
So it is for Thunderbolts. It's Florence Pugh, who's playing was in a Black Widow movie.
Was it a
Yelena.
trailer or just some?
Well, no, it
images?
was her. She put it on like X or something, I think, originally.
Yeah.
And so it's I'm gonna put the
X is what took over from
For
Twitter,
Twitter,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it's
the name change, as it were.
Florence Pugh is Yelena Belova. She's Black Widow's sister in the Marvel
she's
universe.
the new Black Widow, right?
And she's taking over that role. We saw her in Hawkeye, of course.
As well as
and
in
the Black Widow movie.
Yeah, the Black Widow movie.
But most recently Hawkeye. And this is the movie that Harrison Ford is turning up in as Thunderbolt Ross.
Yes.
So
I believe he's supposed to be like, as opposed to regular storyline, the rumor is that he's going to be playing like the president now, so President Ross instead of like Thunderbolt Ross. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but it's fun because you get to see what the outfit she's going to have for the film, and see a little bit of like set, but it's not really. It's kind of a wall in one spot, and
well,
there's not a whole lot to see, but it's fun.
I imagine they're not like too enthralled to. I don't think I can play this without killing the sound on it.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have a volume.
Yeah, it doesn't
Control.
But it could be interesting. I mean, I liked her in the character, so
Yeah.
you know, and having Harrison Ford join the Marvel verse is pretty good.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because the last Thaddeus Ross died, didn't he? Didn't the actor pass away?
Well, the actor passed away.
Yeah. So was it William Hurt who was the actor?
I think so. I think it was William Hurt.
Yeah. So I mean, having Harrison Ford there. Oh yeah, it's William Hurt.
Here we go. I'll put the link for I found the video on YouTube. Here you go. So I think it's a little video. Yep, it is.
Okay.
There you go. I found it. I put it in the chat, our chat.
Yeah, I see it.
Chat.
Let me go grab it here.
So yeah, it's cute. It's so I'm breaking the rules.
Right. Actually, although it's because there's no music, it's probably okay that we play the audio.
Yeah. It's just the other one would blow it out because it wouldn't have no volume control. It would have been loud.
Yeah, and that's the problem that I'm worried about. Here we go. I had to get past the ads for stuck poop.
Yeah, oh, jeez.
God, I hate ads on YouTube. They're the worst. All right, here's volume.
Hey guys, how you doing? I know that I've kind of dropped off for a little bit, but that's partly because I was whisked off to Atlanta to go and shoot a movie that I'm not really allowed to talk much about, but I can show you some things sneakily, as long as you don't tell anyone. I can show you this.
Yeah, like no one's gonna find out, right?
You our fantastic team. I can show you her. We met on Black Widow. This is Chessie.
So she shows base camp.
Yeah.
A sneak peek of some of the sets. We're in the studio right now. We're in the studio that
Captain America poster
on this movie that I can't tell you much about. But look at that. That's on a bell. That means they're shooting.
So there's like an elevator.
And then I can show you that. What's that?
exactly.
What's gonna be in there?
It breaks my head that
Jake.
she's British.
Yeah.
Jake. This is Jake, our director.
Hi, everybody.
What are we allowed to say we're doing?
I don't think you're even allowed to be doing this, most likely.
I know someone's gonna come and rugby tackle me.
Yes.
But what are we?
We're just making a little movie.
Oh.
How
How you doing?
We're good. Yeah.
Can I show some of this?
Yeah,
That's enough. That's it.
It's cute.
That's all you're allowed to see.
Anyway, that's funny.
Yeah.
No, I can't show
Yeah.
that. I can show these guys.
It's totally cute. So I don't know.
I like it.
That's weird. What happened here?
I don't know. It went back to us.
Well, it should have gone back to us. It's just all of my stuff went dark.
And
Oh,
we
mine
say
does that
we're having
3 or
an
4
amazing
times a
time,
show.
And I can't.
It's weird. Your entire computer goes dark?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All
Yeah.
3 of my screens went
Yeah,
dark.
mine does that.
That's rude.
Yeah. I want to talk about Payson High School in Utah, where the students have spent several months petitioning Kevin Bacon to come visit them because
Oh.
Footloose was filmed. The dance at the end was filmed at their school, and their school is being relocated. Like they're not going to be using this building anymore because the whole school is relocating at the end of the year. And they've been doing all this crazy stuff trying to get Kevin Bacon's attention and asking him to come back. They had an assembly last week, I guess, where they all came into the gym and Kevin Bacon came by Zoom or some other media and said, I will in fact be coming to your prom.
That's pretty awesome.
So, and he was happy that the students were supporting his charity, which is called 6degrees.org, which is an awesome name for a charity.
Right.
And I'm going to let Sean explain what
That's
6degrees.org, like why that name is good, because
I love
Sean
it.
is the one in the room who has the closest degree to almost any actor.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So a lot of times people would sit around and try to decide how close they had been to various actors. And when you work in the film industry, especially, or if you do a lot of conventions and you meet people at conventions, you are connected to other actors through the actors that you've met. And so Bacon's Law is this parlor game where everybody tries to determine who has got the lowest Bacon number. And so, like, if you worked with Kevin Bacon, you have a Bacon number of 1. If you worked with Chris Penn, but not Kevin Bacon, or you met Chris Penn and not Kevin Bacon, you have a Bacon number of 2 because you know him through Chris Penn. And so this has become such a long-running thing, and there are websites devoted to this to help you figure out what your Bacon number is and whatnot. That making this his charity name is just amazing.
And to let you know, the charity, the main thing they say on the splash page is, we connect people to resources, share stories, and amplify causes to make the greatest possible impact in communities. Nice. And this has been a 501c3 that he started in 2007, which supports impactful initiatives to sustain and enrich local communities with work centers on youth empowerment, justice, and equality, and improving a sustainable living environment. So, what a great charity. Yeah. And how fun is that name? I gotta say, all the things that I've seen about Kevin Bacon seem like he's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And apparently they put together kits to give to students in need that are like backpacks that have all the stuff they need in them. And yeah, you can help support that.
Nice.
Jeff, what do you want to talk about?
Something I just found. I'm looking at the document. I'm not really keen on much else on there because one thing I think could be kind of spoilery for some people, maybe not. So I'll just talk about this instead. Hot toys. There we go. This is in relation to Pirates of the Caribbean earlier. Hot Toys is releasing a Jack Sparrow figure from Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Have they not released a Jack Sparrow figure yet?
I think they have, but probably not this one.
Interesting.
Yeah. It looks really good. I mean, I don't have any of these, because, but yeah, it looks cool. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
In answer to Eric Gird's question about what Sean's Bacon number is, when you type Sean Crosby into the Oracle of Bacon, which is oracleofbacon.org /movielinks.php, you find that Sean Crosby has a Bacon number of 3.
3? Oh, I thought it was better than that.
Crosby was in well, maybe you'll find that it's better. But Sean Crosby was in Van Von Hunter with Yoshitoma Kaneda, who was in Brother with Tuesday Night, who was in Telling Lies in America with Kevin Bacon.
Interesting.
So that means that Colleen Crosby also has a Bacon number of 3 because I was also in Van Von Hunter.
Right, that's true.
Nice.
Yeah.
And of course, you and I both have a Shatner number of 1.
Yeah.
So, did you finish your thing, Jeff, on Hot Toys?
Oh yeah, I guess I put a link if you want to look at it, Sean, or something.
Okay, well, and I was gonna show you just in case you don't know Hot Toys. Jeff and I went and got one from a collector's mall down there. I traded one I had for one that I really wanted, which was this Luke Skywalker. And if you there's a little bit of a similarity there, which you can see why I might want that. But if you take a look at this thing, it's absolutely insane in terms of like the detail and the accuracy. It's a 12-inch Barbie size, G.I. Joe size doll with a really accurate costume, and the facial sculpt on this thing. The eyes, which are really just don't come across here, the eyes look wet. They look moist. They're shiny. It's crazy. They put so much detail into it, and they'll give you like 6 or 8 hands. There's all these accessories on here, and see these tiny, tiny tools? They all come out of the backpack, and they're about a 1/4 inch in length. It's absolutely nuts. And so these are so accurate, these figures, that I am using this one as a patterning tool for costume pieces I need to replace. Because the patterning on it is so accurate. They got basically all the film reference from Disney and made it as accurate as possible. And so the seams are in the right place. And it's absolutely insane. So, yeah, the Jack Sparrow figure has got to be amazing.
Oh, I know. From looking at, they show 2 of them, and I'm not sure which one it is that you're getting.
Let me. Well, sometimes they do a.
Maybe he's posable. I guess.
Sometimes they do a deluxe one, and in terms of the articulation of these things, they're super articulated.
Yeah, because I see it's like that. I think they're just showing different poses and such of the figure.
So these are usually sold through like Sideshow Collectibles.
Yeah.
And places like that.
Yeah.
And although it says there are 3 different versions available.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, that's why.
Different accessories, different thing, and they are on Sideshow Collectibles website.
Oh, I see.
And so, I mean, these are really crazy. So the articulation is amazing, and then they come with like 3 or 4 extra sets of hands that you can swap out. Sometimes different heads. This Luke Skywalker figure came with like a lightsaber and a porg and a bunch of stuff like that.
Oh man.
And the extra poncho and a stand and all this. Now they're not for the week, because so there's a collector edition, there's a deluxe edition, and then there's an artisan edition. And so basically they keep adding more and more stuff. And so like if you want the ship's wheel and stuff, you have to get one of the higher end ones to get the the ship's wheel. The pre-order for the cheap one is $290. The pre-order for the artisan one, they're not even giving you a price.
Oh man,
they don't want to scare you off.
It is insane.
$330 for the middle of the road one. But I mean, it's kind of amazing, and so they'll give you like a head with the bandana, then they'll give you an extra head with the hat. It comes with the ship's wheel, which lights up. It's got a light up lantern and stuff. I mean, they really go absolutely insane with these. I'm so impressed with all of these things. So, companion pieces, Indiana Jones, because Indiana Jones and Jack Sparrow hang out all the time. Right on.
It's nuts.
That looks fun.
Cool. There's One Piece.
Yeah. Which was a great show if you haven't watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, surprisingly good.
Yeah, it is a really good anime to live action translation. They nailed it, like speed racer level. Nice. They really got it. Yeah, super cool.
I can't remember where we are.
Well, Jeff talked last, and then I jumped in on the end of his.
Sean, why don't you talk about something?
His thing.
I don't know where we are.
Yeah, no worries. Gosh, I had a thing open over here. Oh, here we go. So Paramount is apparently like on the block. There's a bid submitted for Apollo Global Management to take Paramount Pictures and their TV studios group. So $11 billion bid, and it doesn't include CBS, or BET or Comedy Central or Nickelodeon or MTV or any of those things. It's just Paramount, and none of the streaming services. So it's just their TV division and their film division. I don't know that Paramount wants to be sold. But the shares have gone up, and so the market cap is $8.7 billion. So an $11 billion offer is pretty generous. But there's apparently a whole bunch of acquisition scenarios in the works. There's a whole bunch of people who want to buy Paramount. I don't know that they're particularly in trouble. But Byron Allen's group made a $30 billion offer, which apparently was turned down. So kind of nuts. I don't know. I don't know why there's so much interest in Paramount right now and why people need to own it. But boy, there's a lot of people who are trying.
Yeah, geez Louise.
Yeah, and so $11 billion seems very shy of a $30 billion offer, but maybe they just don't like Byron Allen's company very much.
It could be.
So what are you guys doing this weekend?
Ghostbusters for you and I tomorrow night.
Yeah. And then Sean's going to take me to the airport bright and early.
Yep.
On Saturday.
I have been very generously asked to assist with the masquerade at WonderCon, which is this weekend. It's also Easter weekend. I'm wondering how attendance is going to be on Sunday for Easter weekend. But our friend who runs the masquerade there for both San Diego Comic-Con and for WonderCon, for Comic-Con International, has very graciously extended Jeff and I tickets. So we're going to go at the very least for the evening portion to assist and be sort of Johnny on the spot for the masquerade. We had some issues last year where one of the halftime guys got injured from the Saber Guild, and I jumped in and I helped and I got him home and all sorts of stuff, made sure he was taken care of medically, and I think Martin was very grateful, and he's like, please come do that again. And so I feel really honored that he asked, and so that's what we're going to do. And I imagine that after I take Colleen to the airport, I'll probably come and get Jeff. But the question is, do we go as Ghostbusters or do we go as Star Wars? We do both pretty commonly. All the time. This is the weekend of Ghostbusters. The movie just came out, and so I imagine there'll be like 800 of them there.
Most likely.
But maybe that's the reason to do it, because there'll be so many Ghostbusters there.
That's true.
So I don't know. We gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll have
very
to
true,
see.
Very true.
So we're doing that, and then I might go back on Sunday because I don't have any Easter stuff to do. There's a party I think I could go to. But we'll see how the masquerade plays out. I might go home and pass out after all day at WonderCon, because I'm not sure my convention stamina is back to where it belongs.
Gotcha.
So, what are your plans?
I don't have anything on Sunday that I know of yet. And Friday, I don't have anything after work on Friday, but Saturday is the con. So... Although I think that the pass that I have is that they sent me is it for 3 days?
It is for 3 days. Yeah.
Oh wow.
You
cool.
can
Okay.
they gave you a full weekend pass.
Oh wow.
I said
that's very nice of them.
they were super cool. They said, "Hey, is there anybody you want to bring?" And I said, "Well, Colleen's going out of town to be with family." And but I'd appreciate it. And I put you this way exactly. I said, if I would love to be able to bring my right hand, Jeff. So so they were super cool, and they extended that, and I owe them a thank you email for being so kind. So
yeah, totally. That's awesome. Well, maybe I'll go see the. Maybe I can try to get over there on Friday to see the Perception Studio panel.
Oh, cool.
It's like Friday night, I think.
Sounds good. Well, we're in the theater seeing Ghostbusters, so
You want to wrap us up, Sean? It's
yawn
9
yawn for
o'clock.
that.
Yep.
You got it. You have been listening to us over on sci-fi.radio. Sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. That's a URL, by the way, sci-fi.radio. Type it into your address bar. Check it out. We have all sorts of cool news stories and things like that. You can always, look there for the nerd news that you're looking for. And, of course, listen to our station 24/7. We have a Patreon and a coffee and a bunch of things. If you like what you hear over there and you want to support them, that will be terrific. If you are checking us out on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, like it or subscribe to it or do whatever it allows you to do to let us know you were there, because that's how we keep track of all you guys. Yeah. To everybody hanging out in the chat, thank you so much for all of your input. We're really, we love all the comments and even corrections when we misspeak. Glad to have you guys keep us on our toes. And to Kit, Boba-Kit Sovine, who does our show document and is always quite busy with the Facebook page and stuff. We're very grateful for her doing that for us, which is really terrific. Beyond that, we will do this again next week, I think, but probably sans Colleen. I guess it depends how she's feeling and what she's got going on. Because she's going to be on the road. And, we'll figure it out from there. But we will be on the air one way or another. And then my show tomorrow, 9 a.m. Or 12 p.m., depending on the West Coast or East Coast. And you can check out Good Morning Tatooine, and we will wrap up the week with all sorts of cool, fun, goofy music on sci-fi.radio.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
This is Jeff Soledado.
I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby. As always, may the force be with you. We will see all y'all later on. We'll give the video guys some credits here. Wherever did they go? There we go. See you, video people.
Good night.